My wife had an affair 5 years ago and I am just now considering reconciling. Is that a mistake? So here is my story. My wife 37F and I 39M have been married for 15 years. We have 2 children together and she has one that also lives with us. Her child is the product of her affair she had 5 years ago with a married man she worked with at the time. I found out about the affair and the pregnancy at the same time. It had been a few months since we had sex, not my choice by the way. I tried but there was always some excuse and after a month of rejection I just stopped trying. So she knew that she couldn't pass the baby off as mine so she came clean. I contacted a lawyer the next day and was ready to divorce. So I moved into a hotel for a while until things could be sorted out. I figured she may go live with the guy she was sleeping with but he wasn't interested in leaving his wife or kids. The guy wanted her to terminate the pregnancy but she wouldn't. They never spoke again after he suggested that. So I couldn't stay at a hotel forever and my wife got fired because of the affair so she was unemployed. I couldn't really afford 2 homes, not without severely affecting my kids' quality of life. So I went back home and my wife and I agreed to just live as roommates and be civil around the kids. I figured within a few months we would be in a financial condition to separate properly. But it never happened. First I stayed to help her through the pregnancy, then with the newborn and before I knew it 2 years had passed. My relationship with my wife improved during that time. She went to therapy and apologized to me constantly during those 2 years. So I forgave her but wouldn't agree to give the marriage another try. We never officially divorced but we were no longer a couple, just roommates and co-parents. I ended up falling in love with her child, a little girl. So she became mine along with my other 2 and I stayed for another 3 years. Now here I am 5 years after her affair and really don't know what I want to do. We started having sex again last month. She'd been trying to initiate for years and I finally gave in. That's been good, better than it ever was before. But that decision to give in has brought things to a head and I feel I have to decide to either try and truly reconcile or finally move out. It's not fair to leave my wife in limbo when I know she wants to reconcile. What my wife did was so terrible and I know I'd be nuts to actually pursue reconciling our relationship. But I do still love her, I never stopped. And I may be a fool to believe this but I think she loves me too, at least now she does. For the past 5 years she's been free to do as she wishes and so was I. Like I said, we've been roommates not people in a monogamous relationship. She could have dated or slept with as many guys as she wanted but she hasn't even tried. She goes to work and home, nowhere else. I can track her phone so I know. I on the other hand did briefly date another woman shortly after her baby was born. It didn't last long but it changed my wife. She started going to therapy after that and confessed to me later on that it killed her seeing me with someone else, so she knows how I must have felt. I don't see those 2 things as equal but whatever. So am I nuts to consider reconciling? How many years of changed behavior is enough to prove someone has truly changed? Edit, a lot of people are saying she only stayed with me because the other guy wouldn't leave his wife. My wife had broken off the affair prior to finding out she was pregnant. They were never in love with each other. After I moved out she went and told her lover that she was pregnant with his child and asked if he wanted to be involved in the child's life. It was then he asked her to terminate the pregnancy. Had his wife kicked him out and had he wanted to try and have a relationship for child's sake, she said she would have tried. But that was only if I was out of the picture. She begged me to forgive her and give her another chance before even telling him she was pregnant but I wouldn't at the time.